Hi everyone, it's Larice from A Yarn to Remember. Welcome and thanks for being here. This video is a quick tutorial on how I had decorated my Erin Condren Life Planner from last week. And let me just flip there now. And I'm particularly going to be showing how I completed and created this chevron background look, which is kind of like a, I don't know, like a faded shadowed look before I had added my activities on there. I had decided to do that to differentiate the 2 months in the one page, as April was coming to an end on the 30th and May coming on board on the same weekly spread. I wanted to show the 2 different months, I suppose, which for April was this purple layout or coloring that they have, and for May this pink coloring. So that's what it looks like, and originally it looks quite plain like this, and that's why we planner gals decorate it to make it look pretty, and that's the comparison to how that looks. So I'll be going through how I created this look, and I'm hoping that's actually coming through on the camera, the pink and the purple. Okay, so let me flip over to where I'll be demonstrating this, and here is actually another example of where 2 months kind of end and start in the same week, and hence is on the same page or week layout. Here you'll see that June is finishing up on the 29th and the 30th, and then July is coming on board with a new color scheme. It's hard to see because I've actually, on the interest of time, have prepped this page, sorry, this couple of pages this week to start doing that that look that I showed you here, the background look. And so let me just flip back here. As you can see that the spacings in between the daily are bare and clear, as well as the headings. So you know, only the individual boxes look stamped, but I actually used a full-size stamp to get this effect, which is I think is easy, and using a bigger stamp, it just takes down the time that you have to prep for that week. So let's talk about materials, shall we? So you'll need a stamp, and I'll be using the same stamp that I used for that week. And let me see if I can get it so that my light is not shining right on it, which is from Heidi Swapp, and it is this Chevron clear stamp that I usually use for card making. It's the perfect size as a background for cards, and I'll show you quickly. I buy a set of blank cards from Michael's, and they're from the Recollections line, and they're the more square look. You can also get a more rectangular look, but it's a blank card that looks like so, that you decorate according to what you want to send out, and it comes with 40 cards as well as 40 envelopes. and that's what I use, and they're really great. You can get them on special usually for like 3 for $10, so 3 packs for $10. They're really great. And so here's the folded card, and I usually stamp the image on there, and then from that decorate the front with however I wanted. For example, like a happy birthday, then I would do a maybe do a die cut in words or in images. So that's what I usually use this big stamp for. But I love repurposing all of my other materials and all of my other supplies for from card making into my planner. As an example is the week that I did embossing in my planner, which I usually use again for card making and other things like journaling and doing various art projects. So if you have any of those things lying around at home, if you're a crafter or an art journaler or anything like that, check out what you can repurpose and use for your planner, as they work out really great. So we need a stamp. Let's get back on track here. You'll need washi tape to sort of cordon off the boxes so that the spaces will be clean and clear, and the headings will also be clean and clear. So the washi in between the daily boxes here is a 3mm washi tape. And I know that 3mm washi tape is actually fairly hard to get and very expensive to get. So I know that using it in this way, when you'll be just peeling it off and throwing it away, is kind of hard to do. And maybe then you can only try to do this look on, you know, on the off days, or not very often if you want to save your washi. This particular washi tape, and actually I have a few of them that I have just received from a group that I bought them from, and this one here is actually pretty plain looking, so I decided to use it in this way, as it doesn't really have much of an image or a picture or a design on it, so it's really great to use it here. And then also you will need a 5mm washi tape, and this one is just a plain solid color that I have, and you can see the difference between the two there, the sizes of them. And I use that, it's a perfect size for the headings. Not sure if you can see. So I used that for horizontally across here to cordon off the top, and so that the image, the stamp, doesn't get on the headings, as I like it to be clear. And then these, like I said, the 3mm washi went down vertically in between here. So when you are doing this, I would suggest that you try not to put the washies on too far ahead in advance, because the longer that you keep them on the page, the longer that they will adhere to the page. And when you peel them off, they start to stick to the pages, and then they will actually take some of the page with them. And also, I also suggest that when you are laying down the washi tape, that you actually not press too hard on them, as again, when you do pull them off, they tend to take some of the pages or the backing, and rip the pages underneath them. So that's what that looks like. So you need washi tape in 3mm and 5mm. You'll also need ink, and stamping girls know to use chalk ink, as they don't shadow and bleed in the back of the Erin Condren Life Planner for the pages of them. So the chalk inks are the best to use, as they don't shadow the back of them. And here, these are the VersaMagic Dewdrop chalk inks. I love them. They're really great, and they're so easy to use, and I love the point of them because you can use them for detailing, and they work really, really great. So I have these in various colors. So you'll need ink, and you will also need just paper to catch the overflow of this stamp. For example, on this side, you'll see that it's, you know, the stamp is quite big, so it will overflow. If you ink the whole stamp, it will overflow on this side. So I just use a piece of paper to catch the overflow, so it doesn't stamp over that part of the page, and also on the bottom here, like so. So pieces of paper, and I have a couple here cut up just so they're easier to manage. And you'll need something to stick them on, just so they don't move around on your pages as you're stamping the pages. And you will also need baby wipes, and I just use this particular one because it's the one that I use for my sons, and I have that already available here at home because I currently have one. I currently have a 1-year-old who is in nappies, and yeah, I use that for him. So we'll need those to clean the ink off the stamp, as I'll be using 2 different colors here, because the color scheme for June is this kind of what is it, tealy kind of blue greeny color, and July is this kind of burnt red orangey color scheme. So I wanted to show it to you in 2 colors, exactly like how it had looked here from last week. Just put this away. Okay, let's get started. I'll be doing this facing me, so just bear with me while I do that, and I will explain as I go along. So first, let's put down our overhang pages, and I'm using these Avery labels to stick the back of them because they are repositionable, and they won't pull up the pages underneath them. And I've just kind of folded it 3 times or twice on itself so that it's sticky on both sides, and then I'll just put a few along the back of this. So I just kind of fold so that it sticks on it sticks to itself. Let me just get that. I'll just only do a few. Alrighty. Alright, that looks good. Let's do the bottom as well while we're here. You can use any sticky tape for this, I think, but just be careful peeling them off when you do. Alrighty, I just need one more. Alright, perfect. Let's put that away and just kind of position it right there. So this is going to be our stamping page or layout, like so. So let's figure out colors. I think I will use this red brick for July. I think that looks really nice for this bottom bit here, and as we do the faded look, it should match that perfectly. As for June, which is this teal color, let's try the turquoise gem for this one. Alright, so here we go. Now usually with clear stamps you need a block, an acrylic block, to put the stamp on. Let me see if I can find a stamp to show you. Let me just pull one of these out. This is from the Studio L2E Iconic Activities. I love them so much. Let's pull out these truck ones. As you can see, it's like this teeny tiny image, teeny tiny stamp that you need an acrylic block for to stick the stamp on, so that you can ink it and stamp, use the acrylic block to push down on, as they're really quite teeny tiny. So usually you would need one of these acrylic blocks for your clear stamps, but this is such a big size, and actually this particular Heidi Swapp stamp kind of comes with this really stiff plastic backing on it, which has the design printed on it. So I actually just use that to press on instead of putting it on an acrylic block, because I actually do not even have an acrylic block that big. This is my biggest acrylic block. So as you can see, it's going to be hard to put this on it and then use this to stamp on. So I won't be using one. So I'll just use the actual plastic backing that it comes with. Alright, so this side, as you can see, there's only two. Oh, we might need to do an overhang on this side also, because actually I'll just watch it and make sure that it doesn't go over that side. Okay, so June only has 2 days on this page, and then July starts from here onwards. So we'll need to start 2 colors on this side and 1 color on this side. So I'll show how I did that. So with the teal, and if we just kind of play around with it and place it so that we kind of know how far it needs to go. So I'm going to ink up to here. So I just ink the stamp like so by dabbing the actual ink pad onto the stamp. And as you can see, it's not very even, it's not you know, it's not perfect, and I like that. I like that look of it being kind of faded, kind of shadowed look. if you kind of over ink your stamp, which I've kind of actually probably done here, what you can do is get a piece of paper and just lightly take some of the top ink off and then re-ink that image. And I'm just going to press down here to show you what I mean. So I took the top kind of most of the ink off, and then that's still what I'm left with. So it's still a really kind of vibrant color image, but has this, you know, shadowing on places and, you know, not much ink here and here. So I love that look. It's a great background for you know, adding then your activities, and probably in a darker color, which I did in my previous week. I did that in black. So let's do that again and actually do it on our page this time. So I'll just lightly go through this and make sure that it's, so just gonna eyeball it, make sure it's not and then I'm just gonna press along here. And then I'm going to stamp the bottom bit and just eyeball it again. And figure out where it kind of starts again. Actually, I probably need to do it over here. Oh, okay. So just make sure that you line up the stamp. Peel this off. Alrighty. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, and I know that there's a little bit of a gap here, which I know I can work with when I add my activities. I can hide that with other stamps, so I'm not terribly fussed about that. So let's clean up this ink off this page, and I just have my baby wipes, and I'll just dab that off, and it's really quite easy to clean. There we go. Wait for that to dry. Actually, I will just help that along and on there. Great. Alrighty, put my turquoise gem ink away, and then I will need to move this overhang cover here, as just that on those sticky things, as I'll need to stamp that and don't want to stamp the image beside it. Alrighty, it's dry enough, I can feel it. Let's pull some of these fibers off. Okay, so I'm again going to eyeball that, and it looks like from here so I'm not going to ink that much because it's quite a vibrant color, and I know that from using it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that and just give this a little bit of a press. It's gonna look like that. I'm happy with that look. And then just ink the bottom of this to catch the bottom part. And let's see if I can get it to line up a bit better this time. And that's all right. Okay, so let's pull this off and I'll show you, I will peel all of the washi tape off as well. All right, here we go. So this you'll have to peel very, very gently. As I mentioned before, it will peel some of the paper underneath if you go too fast, or if they've adhered too long to the page. Let me try to pull that off. All right, that is looking really good. I am happy with that. As you can see, it is an individual image for each box, and that's how I created that look. All right, so I pulled a little too fast there, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a, I'm not sure if that's showing through right there. You had picked up and ripped the paper underneath, so go slow. Cannot get that. There we go. All right, there we go. So that's what that looks like with two color, with the June color and the July color, and that color scheme there worked out really well. And again, if you want a more faded look, you would put less ink on there, or don't press too hard as you're stamping, as that will create a more vibrant look where I had pushed a little bit too hard or had put too much ink on there. And again, if you do end up inking it too much, you can always stamp the image, the image on a piece of paper just to catch the top layer off and then re-ink it. And as you can see, it's still, you know, a pretty vibrant color. So that's how I created that look. And for when you have two boxes like this, where obviously the stamp is not going to fit here, you have a couple of ways where you can do this, and you can either cordon off or do two at a time, so here and then do the bottom bit here, or you can just do the three. So just put a piece of paper on the last one there, and then do the last one like so. And other way, you'll have to stamp twice for that to get it a good clean look. So it's up to you how you want to do that. So let me see what I'll do. I think I might just do two at a time, and do the other two after. Okay, so I've been using the stamp, which way? I'll have to be this way. I'm not fussed about that either, which way the chevron is facing, or however that is. So just inking this. Let's have a look. Alrighty. That's great. Okay, so I'll just need the top few of that. See if I can line it up. There we go. It's not too bad. Let's get this off and see how far I need to go. Okay. There we go. All right. Just trying to get the sides. As you can see there, I didn't press hard enough and put enough pressure right there, so just making sure that that comes through, which it does. That's great. Let's move that out of the way. Let's do the bottom bit of this and see if I can get it to again line up. Okay, and there we are. Peel this off and then peel the tape off right there. All right. Okay. I can hear my babies crying. It's nap time, or it's bedtime right now. So Daddy's putting them to bed while I tape this video. All right. Last two. Oh, and as you can see, I have put a little bit of ink there, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. All right, you guys. So that is what that looks like, and then you are free to stamp or sticker any way you want, and write on top of it any way you want for the activities that you have for that week. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. It's not as quick as I thought it would be actually, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. You are more than welcome to ask me any question that you want, either by commenting below or sending me an email to ayarn2remember@gmail.com. You can also find me on Instagram and also on Facebook at ayarn2remember. And stay tuned for my blog, soon to be released or open at ayarn2remember, sorry, www.ayarn2remember.com. So happy planning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Bye.